Hello and welcome to the Universal Broadcast Network pre-race show. I'm James and I am here all alone today, unfortunately. However, we do have Las Vegas trucks qualifying coming up here shortly. Um, and the first thing I want to go over is the point standings real quick. So, after the win at Daytona last week, Wyatt Thompson is currently leading the standings with 49 points. And you know, that's expected to be honest. I mean, he won. And then Jackson Brown, he finished second. Pretty much the standings right now that you see are where everyone finished in the race. And so I just kind of wanted to, with the point standings here, go over, who to look for tonight at the uh, race at Las Vegas. So, of course, Wyatt Thompson's coming off some momentum, so I think he's gonna be a very interesting driver to look out for tonight. And I'm gonna be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if the momentum carries over from Daytona. Although Daytona is a super speedway, um, that won't. I'm sure that won't stop Wyatt Thompson from at least having a little bit of confidence coming in to Las Vegas here. And then so behind him, Jackson Brown, he is kind of, super speedways are kind of his strong suit, so it makes sense that he won there last weekend. I do think he will struggle a little bit in comparison um, to Wyatt Thompson. I don't actually know how the guy is around uh, Phoenix, or sorry, Las Vegas, but I do know that he will at least have a little bit of momentum going into this because second place is nothing to um, no, second place is nothing to be ashamed of at Daytona, even if it's a super speedway. And so skipping down a little bit here, I want to focus on Kendorian Davis a little bit. Um, he had a little bit of a rough finish at Daytona, but I have faith in Kendorian Davis's ability to um, perform regularly at mile and a half track, especially like Las Vegas. I think he's gonna be an interesting one to look out for. Um, and then just below him, Joseph Enright, he also had a little bit of a rough finish at Daytona. Had some might call dangerous maneuvers, but I also think that you know that last week should be disregarded for him, and Las Vegas will be a new leaf for him. So I think he can also do it here at Las Vegas, or not do it, but at least get a good finish here at Las Vegas. And so just looking at the rest of the points here, you got a lot of people who are tied right now. I mean, at second place, you got Jackson Brown and Merrick Watchorn. So whoever finishes ahead between those two will take that spot. You got Jordan Fisher and Nicholas Rowe tied for sixth and seventh place, or sorry, just sixth. I just wanted to say 6, 7. I'm gonna be real with you. Anyways, then below them, the two I just talked about, Kendorian Davis and Joseph Enright, those two are tied for eighth place, I believe. Well, technically it'd be a lower place because everyone else is tied in front of them. But um, lots of ties here, which kind of surprised me. Um, while I was looking through the points, I didn't even realize how many people tied from last week. And so, uh, really, there's going to be a lot of tiebreakers today. I mean, I don't know how some of these people are compared to super speedways and ovals. I do know like Wyatt Thompson and Jackson. Like Wyatt Thompson's probably going to perform well here at Las Vegas. I think I can say that with confidence. Jackson Brown, I feel like his performance here is going to be a bit worse compared to Daytona, just because super speedways just seem to be his thing. Of course he can perform well. It's just I don't know how confident I am in that. And so now what I want to get around to is the ones to watch. Now some of these I did already go over. For example, Wyatt Thompson, he's hot right now. He's got momentum from Daytona. Um, wouldn't surprise me if he's gonna be in the top five today by the end. Honestly, I don't know about a win because of course there are competitive cars here, but he can for sure finish well. I feel like, and if he doesn't, then I didn't say that. Um, but then for a driver who's cold, Jeffrey Herrick, he actually finished 12th last weekend, I believe. So he's kind of sitting pretty low in the standings. Um, and not saying that he'll continue to do bad here at Las Vegas, but I just it was a little disappointing finish from him. I did watch the race after the pre-race show, and I was rooting for him a little bit. I guess that might just be a bit more of a bias because I was kind of hoping he'd do well there. Um, but it just was a little bit of a disappointing finish for him, and he's coming to Las Vegas now. I'm sure there are plenty of drivers below him who might be in a worse situation, but I've only seen one race. That's all I had to go off of. And then I talked about this a little bit earlier while looking at the point standings. My wild card for this race, or just you know, someone you wouldn't see coming, I guess, would be Kendorian Davis. Like I said, I do believe that he can perform on the regular tracks, 1.5 miles especially, just like Las Vegas. Um, and Daytona, he finished like eighth or seventh. I mean, that was really just it was just a bad weekend for him, really. I mean, I've seen what Kendorian Davis can do in other series. He kind of just he just had a bad weekend, got wrecked a lot at Daytona, just wasn't in the right spot, and I mean for him, he's gonna hopefully want to bounce back here at Las Vegas, and it's his own league too, I'm pretty sure. So he's probably gonna be pretty hungry to finish well. I mean that's what you gotta do in your own league. You gotta finish well. You gotta perform. Um, if you're not performing well in your own league, uh, might look a little bit silly, So, um, I mean, and also in general, I mean, he's a racing driver. He's gonna want to just do better. That's just usually how it goes with most of these guys. So, you know, so pretty much mostly everybody will be trying to improve here, but that's just what I had for like who's hot, who's not, wild card pick, and so there's not really a whole lot to know right now or expect. All it is right now is just guessing because I mean we've seen these guys at a super speedway, but how can they do at a skilled track? Like who's actually gonna make the difference here when it comes to actually trying a little bit? Now I know it's Las Vegas and these are trucks, but it's it's I would say it takes at least a tiny bit of skill to do Las Vegas in comparison to Daytona, because Daytona is just flat out just trying to hold your line. But Las Vegas, I do believe it's probably full throttle with new tires, and then as it goes on, it's gonna be probably letting off, feathering or braking of some sort. So that's where the real skill is going to come in, and that's where we're going to see who out of this field here of truck drivers has the skill to manage the tires and to have actual pace and run the line properly. Because based off what I saw at Daytona, there are definitely a few guys, especially the guys near the bottom, not people like Peter Hop or Kendorian Davis, but some of those people down there um, you know, they're down there for a reason. It's because I feel like they can't just run properly, and that's definitely going to translate over to here at Daytona. It's going to show. Um, Speaking of Peter Hop, he's somebody I just totally looked over during the point standings. It was a shock to see him down there. I mean, I know he's won a Truck Series championship in the UIS. Shout out UIS. And I mean I know it's Daytona, anything can happen, but I am expecting him to bounce back here as well, along with Kendorian Davis, to hopefully get some points back for after Daytona because Peter Hub can definitely do better than that, and we know that. Same for like Kendorian Davis, like I said, and Joseph Enright. But we'll just have to wait and see here at Las Vegas. So qualifying will be coming up here soon in about 4 minutes. So, um, I actually don't know the practice times right now. I don't know who's on the top of the leaderboard right now. I would check, but I can't right now. Um, if I had to guess though, let me just take a random guess. I feel like first place right now is just looking at the names here. I'm gonna guess top of the leaderboard right now is Wyatt Thompson. I got a feeling he's on a roll. He's gotta be. I feel like he knows what he's doing. He's got confidence. He's probably quick. I mean, that's all I can say really. And second place. Let me just go on the list here. I'm gonna say second place is Kendorian Davis. Third place is probably I don't know actually. I'm gonna go with Wyatt Youngblood. Fourth, I'm gonna guess Nicholas Road, and then fifth, give me Peter Hop. That's my top five right now, and I hope it's right. I don't know how far off or how direct on I am, but um, I mean that shoot. You know what? Call that my quality order too. Wyatt Thompson pole, second place. Who did I even say? Did I say Wyatt Youngblood? Pretty sure I did. Right? It's alright. Um, but yeah, I do think Wyatt Thompson he's gonna perform well. He's got momentum. Um, Jackson Brown might see a little bit of a fall off in points here. Um, Ken Dorian Davis, Peter Hop, also expecting a little bit of a boost in points from them. So, and then apart from that, really all I can say is that some of these other guys, they I feel like everybody pretty much 10th and below most of those guys have a little bit to prove because from what I saw, most of those guys were kind of people who ended up at the back because they drove like they should be at the back, like they're switching lanes without like checking to see if they're clear. They're just making dumb blocks. They're pushing a pusher in the corner. Like it's just like it might seem like small things because it's just Daytona, but like a lack of racing knowledge like that could translate to a track that requires actual skill, and it's like a bit more like just racing IQ. I feel like racing IQ has to go hand in hand with your pace. If you don't have good racing IQ, you probably don't have good pace. So, um, and I feel like that's fair to say. But um, you never know. Some people like maybe Eli McDonald. Uh, I mean, he had a rough week last week. He got into incidents quite a bit. But you never know. Maybe he just decides to prove me wrong and has a good weekend. That's something that can definitely happen. And it is 8:59 now, so qualifying will start in about a minute here. So I actually am gonna make this abrupt end here, and say thank you for joining me for the pre-race show. And I do believe it is Jacob Quill and Zachary Trevino in the booth tonight for qualifying in the race. So I will see you guys next Wednesday.